Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon by doing something Disney related. Whether it's the theme parks, movies, programs, or whatever, I guess. But yeah, this another case where I'm talking about Disney, of course, defending them, and they actually wanted to fight against the bill in Georgia. And of course, I want to question why is Batgirl trying to help people. If I were her, I would have gone rogue a long time ago, because this entire thing is completely stupid. Not on Disney's part, because Disney actually wants to do something to help people, which in itself is fine, because it's a company, and they do need people, to work for them and whatnot. So just trying to give you some idea here. And yes, intimate relations of the LGBT community. Well, what is new, right? This has something to do with the religious individuals, and we all know where this is heading. So yeah, I guess you can say, to give you more of a context here, is that there's like a little showdown over a proposed religious bill, and there could be costly for the state of Georgia. And there are these individuals, these backers, is what they call it, I guess you can say that the measure would protect faith-based groups that refuse to serve or even hire for religious reasons. So for major companies like Walt Disney, they say it is discriminating against the LGBT community and it's threatening there to pull their businesses. In other words, if this passes, Disney wants nothing to associate with those specific businesses that would discriminate against the LGBT community. Rightfully so, because a lot of their employees are LGBT anyway, and they don't want them to feel threatened when you think about it. Funny how a lot of these religious individuals, now notice I'm not specifying what faith I'm talking about, whether it's, Christian, Methodist, Baptist, or Jehovah's Witness, Mormon, or whatever else you can think of. Funny how they're claiming that the LGBT community is oppressing them, when in reality they say nothing about people like this.
Who'd you send?
I did it myself, ear to ear, just like you wanted.
Good boy. Leave us alone. I got business to discuss. I understand you supplied the heroin Georgia was selling.
Sí, certo.
I never wanted that in my city. Shit like that fucks with people's heads. Makes them crazy. Stupid. It brings down too much heat. Bourbon?
No, I do not drink.
Georgie tell you why I wanted to meet?
He said the nigger is causing you problem. That you wish to discuss a deal between the two of us?
I'm building a casino across the lake. I had it all set. Now the rights to the land are all tied up. It's a goddamn mess.
You want my money.
I'm gonna need enough to pay for all the blood-sucking lawyers, and that's not cheap.
I want to hear you say it.
Say what?
That you want my money. Say those words, please.
I want your money.
This is good. I will bring you the money. And in exchange, you will let me sell heroin in your city. And you will not interfere in any way.
Sure. Whatever you want. But that's not the only thing that
You also wish for me to kill the nigger? I will do that for you as well. I enjoy killing the niggers.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, a lot of time the churches will be in favor of racism because God said so. Oh boy. But anyway, here's the footage of the news program I was talking about.
Showdown over a proposed religious liberty bill could be costly for the state of Georgia. Backers say that the measure would protect faith-based groups that refuse to serve or hire someone for religious reasons. But major companies like Walt Disney say that this discriminates against the LGBT community. They are threatening to pull out their business. David Begnaud is outside Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. David, good morning.
Probably fine. If Disney does not want to deal with them, the people are discriminating, they do have the right. And of course, a lot of people out there will get upset about this kind of a thing.
Gail, good morning. For the sake of this story, it's all about business. You've got entertainment companies that say,
Maybe in the grand scheme of things, it's about business, but they're also trying to do the right thing. You have to keep that in mind. It's also a human rights thing as well.
reconsider doing business in Georgia if the governor signs this bill. Then take the NFL, the Atlanta Falcons, for example. They play at the Georgia Dome right here and have for years. But on this side, they're building the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's a $1.4 billion project that the Falcons owners hope is going to bring the Super Bowl back to Atlanta. But experts say those chances could be sacked if this bill gets signed. And Gail, as you said, it's also about Disney.
Why does that have to be a bad thing? Disney just wants to help out, and help out the the LGBT community. That's all. It's a human rights thing.
All but said it's done with Georgia if the governor signs that bill. The tax man sure has been kind to Ant-Man and other Disney movies filmed in Georgia. The state's generous tax incentives have provided a warm welcome to filmmakers. But now, some studios say that Southern hospitality is being tested by a proposed law.
Says the state that's okay with slavery, but helping the homosexuals and the rest of the LGBT. Oh yeah, that takes a step too far. Okay.
Discriminates against the LGBT community. Disney issued a statement saying, "We will plan to take our business elsewhere should any legislation allowing discriminatory practices be signed into state law." Similar sentiments have been voiced by AMC Networks, which films The Walking Dead in Georgia, as well as other corporations. Viacom, Delta, Coca-Cola, Unilever, Intel, and reps for two of Georgia's sports teams.
In other words, I'll just take my business elsewhere. See, that's good capitalism done right. So there you go. So yeah.
Falcons and the Braves.
Hell, you're fired! God loves everyone, sir!
The state's vocal debate between religious liberty and gay rights is now focused on Georgia's Republican Governor Nathan Deal, who must
Had to be a Republican, right? I mean, come on. Well, we all know how this is going to end. Oh boy, give me a break here.
decide whether to sign a bill called the Free Exercise Protection Act. It would not only allow.
In other words, let me discriminate against you. You're not letting me hate you.
Officials to refuse to perform same-sex marriages. It would also allow faith-based organizations to deny services or employment to people who violate their, quote, sincerely held religious belief.
Goes into what I just said. He's pissed off that people won't let him hate others because God said so.
State Senator Greg Kirk is a sponsor of the bill. Give me an example of what your bill would do for somebody in Georgia.
Let's say my wife and I want to start an adoption agency. We want it to be a faith-based organization. We only want to adopt out.
Do you realize the homosexuals, or as we say the LGBT, doesn't care if you want to adopt? Go ahead. Adopt. They're not going to stop you. I think that you would say that because this was the same kind of attitude towards African Americans. Like they're the invaders. Oh, okay.
To traditional couples.
And for the most part, the LGBT community doesn't care if you're straight. At all. If you want to have a married couple, go ahead.
Protect us.
But opponents say the bill legalizes discrimination.
Yes, and yes. I agree with that. A lot of religious folks use the Bible to discriminate against African Americans and other minorities as well.
Movie studios are really thinking twice about whether or not they want to send their contractors and employees to Georgia to work for an extended period of time.
Man, it's capitalism for you. They don't have to put up with it with any bullshit, like at all. But anyway, so yeah.
Nobody wants to place their employees at risk for discrimination.
That actually sounds perfectly reasonable. They don't want that kind of a thing to be in their environment. Environment of work and whatnot.
Nora, the governor says he has until the first week of May to decide whether or not he's going to sign that bill.
All right, we'll be watching. David, thank you so much for that report.
Yeah, of course, this is just ridiculous when you think about it, because people at the end of the day just want to work and whatnot. And maybe I can buy an Elsa doll. One of the really expensive dolls, well, it was somebody's job to make it, so I guess I'll get that. But yeah, folks, I just thought I would cover this. And I appreciate anybody for taking your time to have a look at this video. Because I just thought it was something, just ridiculous. But yeah, it's just, yeah, even as the years continue, people would still bring this kind of a thing up as the years will go on and whatnot. This, of course, is totally unacceptable, and you should not be allowed to discriminate against anybody just because of the sexual orientation and whatnot. But yeah, it's just something I thought I'll cover because this does have the right to not work with certain people and whatnot, because this is something ridiculous. So, and yeah, they do support the LGBT community. I know religious individuals had criticized Disney for that very reason, because they don't want a huge company like Disney to be supporting that kind of a thing, because it's somehow against family, it's against faith, which is not the case. Just because they support the LGBT community does not mean they hate religious people. It doesn't mean they're against, families. And if there's if somebody from the LGBT community has a grudge against families, if they have a grudge against religious people, it depends on the individual, not the community as a whole. One member of the community cannot represent the entire community itself. Just because someone from that said community does something bad does not mean the entire community is okay with it. So, you think that would be like the most common sense approach when you think about it? But then again, we're dealing with bigots, so common sense isn't exactly there. But yeah, I know I'm gonna get pissed off some people just by making this video, and I really don't care. Yeah, get mad, whatever. This is a channel filled with unpopular opinions anyway, so like, what else new? But yeah, I just thought I'd cover this. Like I was saying, it does give me an excuse to talk about Disney, which I've been doing quite a bit of anyway. When you think about it, but yeah, I think I'll just do this to speak about to make some news related videos and whatnot, to give you my 2 cents. This is something I thought would be interesting to cover, because this actually did happen. That's actually real footage that actually did occur and whatnot. But yeah, it's just something I wanted to talk about, because considering the fact that Disney has been doing a gay day, which is something I brought up before, the whole gay day that Disney had been doing for quite some time, ever since the late 1990s. Like I said, like I mentioned before, since 1997, I believe, the really late 1990s, and had been continuing it kind of a thing even to this very day. And yes, I mentioned Barack Obama, the former president, had made it legal for the LGBT individuals to actually marry each other if they ever choose to do so. They don't have to, but you get to. You do have that option if you really feel like it. But yeah, this is something, even as the years go by, this kind of thing still happens and whatnot. Yes, even in this day and age, which is, yes, I do find rather ridiculous. Like, really, people, really. They're not, they're not a bunch of Satanists that's trying to ruin society. They're not a bunch of depressed sexual deviants that's trying to ruin society. They're not a bunch of predators that's trying to go in the bathroom and trying to snatch your child and do something to said child and whatnot. And even if somebody from the LGBT had done that kind of a thing, it's the individual, him or herself. It's not the community itself that had done it. Just like with straight people, there's been lots of situations where lots and lots of straight people had done terrible, awful things. Do I blame the entire community of straight people? Of course not. I mean, yes, there's been some bisexual people who have done bad things, they'll blame you for one of them? No. You just can't judge the entire group just because of a few bad eggs. Oh yeah, like I said, common sense, that doesn't even exist, right? But yeah, folks, it's just something I want to cover. And because, again, like I said, I wanted to talk about something Disney related, obviously. And just gonna give my opinion on this because this is just ridiculous. How and why is it still keep going? And a lot of people would just point the finger at religion itself. That's the problem. Because a lot of them are really close-minded in this regard. Because they feel that a lot of the religious beliefs are far too old-fashioned from way back in the day. The Bible, I should say the Bible books, there's many books of the Bible, and then there's also many different versions of the Bibles themselves. So that makes it even more when you think about it. And but yeah, a lot of people felt that these books were written in a time that people didn't know better. Like for example, a lot of people believed that hurricanes, thunder, any kind of like crazy thunder, or let me see what else. Oh yes, earthquakes, floods, or even volcanoes blowing up. A lot of people believe that a lot of this was just punishment from God because humanity had done some bad and whatnot. But nowadays, we believe that whatever nature does is because of nature. Like anything, it can be anything that's part of nature can be explained in some sort of manner. He's not some invincible guy that you can't see causing these disasters to happen just because for some absurd reason. I know a lot of people, even nowadays, religious individuals have blamed the hurricanes, the wildfires that happen in certain places on the LGBT community, all the rise of crime. Oh, it's their fault somehow. It's just God's way to punish them or whatever. Which just sounds crazy when you think about it. And somehow Disney is up to some bad. And they're doing some like behind the scenes spooky stuff just because of that. That just sounds ridiculous. Really ridiculous when you think about it. That's definitely not the case, like, at all. But yeah, I just think it's funny. And it's stupid. I mean, this is serious. Yes, I do agree, it's really serious. But it's funny in the sense that they have a mindset that it allows them to believe in such ridiculous notions. Yeah, I just think this is just dumb. This is really dumb. And Disney does have every right to not want to walk with this individual. Neither would I. Neither would I, because these people sound like a bunch of nutcases, which they are. Yeah, boy. Yeah, okay, maybe we should just start wrapping this up because, this is already a fairly lengthy video as it is. And I do appreciate anybody for watching, of course. Thank you anybody ahead of time because, like I said, it's a long video. But yeah, I just want to throw my 2 cents here because, like I was saying, I want to talk about Disney and the LGBT community, of course. And I'm not saying that there aren't any bad people in the LGBT community because there are. There are quite a few bad people in the community itself. So don't be thinking I'm being biased here or whatever. Or I'm just picking sides or whatnot. But it is a human right to marry whoever you want. That's perfectly fine. And if Disney does not want to cooperate with those individuals who are bigoted, that's fine too. They don't have to. It's their right to not want to help these individuals and not be a part of them in any kind of shape or form, like whatsoever. I can't blame them. Because it's just ridiculous when you think about it. But yeah, it's just something I just have to say that it's just good for Disney. And the other companies, of course, the other companies that were mentioned and what they were doing. But yeah, making an issue of why? Why does this have to be an issue? The LGBT community just want to be together just like everyone else. And you don't necessarily have to marry somebody. I mean, don't get me wrong, folks. Just to clear the air a little bit, I don't believe that you have to marry somebody to prove that you're loved. I mean, if you want to marry somebody, go ahead. You do you, I guess. But I'm not one for say you have to marry somebody, whether you're straight or whatever else. I'm not saying you have to marry somebody to prove you're loved. to the individual, because I believe you don't necessarily have to, like, at all. I know some people may just frown at that thought. I know a lot of conservatives believe that you do have to marry the person because it's the only way that can be approved to keep the relationship pure. Which it just sounds ridiculous because that's a form of controlling. If you ask me, and that's definitely a form of controlling, which it is. But yeah, I just thought I would just be on the supporting side of Disney again and the LGBT community again. Even though I feel like a lot of it is just it's kind of repeating itself in a lot of ways, but I'm going to do it anyway because I do believe that these people should have their own voice and whatnot. And but yeah, the LGBT has every right to work wherever they want. Every American citizen should work wherever. They should have a job experience in any place. It could be a Target, a Walmart, a Best Buy, or anything else you think of. Or, yeah, just anything. All those car dealer shops like Honda, or whatever else you can think of. Or places like Rasputin, that place I keep bringing up quite a few times. Or work at a GameStop, even though I don't care for GameStop, to be honest with you. Or even work at Toys R Us if it was still around. Same with Circuit City if it was still around. And Hollywood Video, assuming, again, if it's still around. If you want to work at these places, that's fine. People should work wherever they want. Regardless of their sexual orientation, it doesn't matter. I know. Or even at speaking of theme parks, even at Six Flags. If they want to work at Six Flags, that's perfectly fine. They should work wherever they want. And if certain companies don't want to make business with other companies as bigoted, that's fine too. Obviously. That's not okay, you don't want to do business with them. That's okay. But yeah, just want to, like I said, do my own 2 cents here because it's just ridiculous. How's that? How and why? Like I was asking a moment ago, how and why does this keep happening? Keep happening? I thought Jesus himself had was teaching people to be compassionate, to love. Now some people are gonna be telling me, "Oh, uh, God hates the sin and not the sinner." That just sounds dumb. Don't patronize me like at all. Don't come around patronizing me. That sounds really stupid right there. Or like the other saying is that God works in mysterious ways, which honestly is a cop out. That's just another way of saying I don't know. But yeah, just whatever, guys. This is the same old side. It feels like I keep talking about the same thing over and over and over and over and. I would like to talk about something else, this is getting awfully repetitive. When you think about it, it's getting awfully repetitive. Oh boy. So yeah, folks, and but yeah, I just want to bring this up for a moment. Okay, for a long moment. Anyway, I guess there's not much else I can add to what I already said and had been saying for the past, I don't know, forever ago, I guess. Anyway, of course, as usual, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time. See ya. Oh yeah. Later. Aha.